She
Are you
comes
wearing
in.
an Owners Club sweatshirt?
Oh, I made these sweatshirts. So check it out. I don't know if you can
Dude.
see it.
Oh, I love it.
This is very premium. I've been working on a merchandise business as well. I'm very artsy. So
Yeah.
so I have my own tees for my real estate deli. So I've
Oh yeah,
been
I love that name, by the way. Real
on
Estate Deli.
the play on New
The
York, right?
best.
So so what I did, I've been buying merchandise like sweaters, all type of materials to see what I'm looking for a premium type of branding. So I ordered some sweaters and I got this one in yesterday and I had ordered these I created these puff pastries, these letterings
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
cable on one of these platforms. So I created a couple weeks ago and I ordered them and I was just figuring out what type of sweaters I was gonna put them to. So I said, "Oh, this one's cool." So I put it on today actually, and I got a ruler. I got the whole thing where you set it up so it's even.
Yeah.
So I created that today, and like I said, I'm gonna create a like a Shopify store where I connect it to my YouTube, and
Yeah.
people can go there and pick up the merchandise as it
So
please.
smart.
So yeah, so again, that's kind of my artsy side. That's
That's
my
cool.
hobby style. So yeah, and I'm doing that a lot of that as well with my real estate deli merch. I got some prints that I got some ideas that I'm conjuring up. So I'm gonna be giving some out to the community while we're in Boston.
Oh,
So
fun.
and create some
Fun.
content around. I bought some boxes. I
Yeah.
just create something out of nothing.
Well, but that's what it's all about, right? And to feed, like I'm creative, so I love doing logos and stuff like that and playing around and you got to fill you got to do the stuff you love, right? And so I think that's so cool. The
Yeah,
real estate deli is super fun and it's such a
yeah.
fun like play on words and I think if you make merch for that, man, I don't see why people wouldn't buy it. It's awesome.
Yeah. I've created some, so I have a vision for that. I exercise a lot, so there's a gym brand called Gymshark. I don't know if you ever heard it,
No.
but if you're in the gym a lot, you see that that's the brand like everyone wears, right?
Okay. Now
So
I
it's
don't go to
called
the gym.
Gymshark. So I said, "Oh, cool! And I know they hold events like in Miami, whatever, somewhere warm, and they have events and meetups and all that community
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So I say, wow, I love that idea, and there's not a space in real estate like a merch store in like a merch thing that's identified with purely real estate, right? So I
Hmm.
said I would love then to me fill that gap and create a real estate specific merch line that is just for the real estate industry and people could do meetups. So I could do stuff like that as well, play on that kind of what we do, community based things. So I say
Yeah.
let me do that. So I said let me create that, and that's kind of what I'm working on, my fun projects. These are all
I
like
love that. I
so
love it.
I have my real estate deli, and I've created some I have my logo, and if you look at I don't know if you've seen my logo. It's you seen it as a
Yeah.
sandwich. Is a
Yeah.
hit.
Let me pull it up. I'm cute because I mean I've seen it before,
Let me
but can I
let me
remember it?
let
Do
me
you
show
have it
you.
there? Yeah.
I have my shirt here. Let's get on this
Yeah.
recording soon, but since we but right here. So if you look at it, if you look at it, where is it? It's a if you look at it, it's a sandwich. If you look at it, it's like a little sandwich with a little lettuce in the middle
That's
and
right.
and the little house on top.
Oh my God, I love it.
So that was me just figuring stuff out and
Yep.
messing around. And again, I just created something out of nothing. And this is stuff that again, I have some couple people that are gonna be wearing my merch in Owners Club as well. So
Perfect.
just getting out there again. Why not?
That's it. Why not? And for me, it's such a different um experience, right? I was a teacher my whole career
Okay.
and you just get used to, it's like I'm standing in front of the kids and teaching
Yeah.
them stuff and whatever. And this is so neat. I mean, you broaden your horizons so much. We're
Yeah.
talking and hanging out with people all over the country. You're in Brooklyn, I'm in Oregon. We would have never crossed paths before, right?
Ever. Ever.
And so cool to just find the things that we all have in common and the places we can support each other. I think that's one of the coolest pieces of Sub 2. And then Owners Club just takes it up a notch because we're really pushed to spend more time getting to know each other, building more authentic relationships together.
Yeah.
And just so it's so cool.
It is so awesome. I actually get goosebumps when you talk about that stuff
I
because it
love
is
it. Yeah.
it's so filtered down, right? And people made an investment to be here, so it matters, right?
Yes, yes, yeah,
It really matters. Initially, it probably is a little more euphoric because it was kind of a sales pitch, and you
for
want to
sure.
get it, the
Yeah,
FOMO and all that.
totally.
But once all that settles, right, you be like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
in here. Now you have to put in the work, and this is
yeah.
for me. This is a fun part where now you share your experiences and where we can help each other. And
Hmm.
again, we're all connectors to each other. Hey,
Yeah,
I can't do this for you, but Trace could do it. Right?
exactly.
Right. So all that's how I see us as just all connectors. And the many people, the more people you connect to, the more access you have to opportunities, right? So
100%.
especially it's 400 of us, over let's say a 5 year span, God willing, we'll get to really know each other, right?
Yeah.
More intimately, right? So because we right now we have small groups that we kind of lean towards and all that. So I've been mindful of that. So let's start recording because we'll be talking. So I've been
Yeah,
mindful.
yeah, yeah. Oh, no, I'm recording. I started
Oh, I
recording.
love it because
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
we're good.
mindful because I always try to get better. So I always look at opportunities. I see that when we go to these communities, we've been to a couple of them now. We kind of break into our groups: a Spanish group, the Black group, the Asian group, the whatever group, which is
Yeah,
cool. I have no
yeah,
problem with that. But what I said, you know what? I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone, and in Boston, I'm gonna spend a day with each of the groups. One day
that's
I'm gonna
smart.
be Asian, one day I'm gonna be black, another day I'm gonna be white. Again, just to step out of my norm myself,
Yeah,
get to know other and just bum rush someone else's group and be like, hey, you got a new member, guys.
that's right. What's up?
So again, just because we do a roundtables, owners cup roundtable on Wednesdays. We do a
Okay,
podcast on Wednesdays as well with members
nice.
of the community. It's six of us, so it's called Roundtable. So we had Chino Monte a couple months ago, probably, and he said something about that. He said, "Yo, just try to get uncomfortable, meet different people, and if you see people just like wallflowers and not being engaged, just engage with those people and stuff."
Yes, yes.
So once Chino said that, it kind of it was working on me. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do that intentionally. When I go to Boston, I'm gonna reach out for my usual suspects and just really
Yeah,
hang out with others.
that's so smart. I noticed too, in Phoenix, there were a couple older folks that were, on their own and not, I saw them kind of on the outskirts and I started to engage a little bit because I thought, man, what does it feel like, right? I mean, I'm in my 50s and it's still sometimes there's a lot of folks that are younger in this industry. And, sometimes I'll be on a Zoom with people and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like the old lady on here, man. And it can feel funny, but I then when I just let go of that, and I'm like, you're the same, your peers, no matter your age, it's super cool, right? And I think about that sometimes when I see folks just a little, um, kind of standing, like you said, just shy on their own. I think, gosh, I'm outgoing, obviously. So are you.
Mm,
So we have no problem, like you were saying, just bum rush in a group, like, what's up? How's it going? I'm Tracy, but not everybody's like that, and
mm,
it can be intimidating. There's people from all over, all walks of life and
yeah,
ages and so forth. And yeah, so that's
yeah.
good. Good. I love hearing you're going to do that.
Yeah, just again, just to break out of your norms a little bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fun with it, and maybe they'll learn something new. Oh, that was great. I'm gonna do that as well, right? Maybe someone
Yeah.
will pick up that cue as well and be like,
That's
you know
right.
what? I like that. I think I'm gonna start
Yeah.
doing that as well.
I love
Again,
that.
we are the culture in our group. We
It's
are the
true.
culture. We set the culture. Pace sets the vision,
Yep.
right? He cast the vision and we set the culture,
Yeah.
right? Like Jim Vanny said, you know what? Let's create something for Pace and let's create the little whatever he's gonna create. Like I said,
Yeah.
I did the card. in Owners Club. I think whenever it was in Scottsdale, I did the big Amazon card, and Jim signed it. So I hope that I inspired him that to create something of that, because I knew nobody was thinking of that space, right? Stuff
That's
like
right.
that. So when I saw Jim doing it, I said, "Damn!" Because I remember when he signed it. So there, I told myself, I hope that Jim was inspired by me in some way that he created that
I do too.
as well. Because again, we're setting the culture, right?
100%. It's funny you say that. I am, my love language is gifts, right? I love getting gifts. And it doesn't have to be an expensive gift by any mean, right? It's just little things. So in return, I do that for other people, right? Because it brings me joy to see them. So I give gifts all the time. And I send stuff to the office, Pace's office. Last week was, um, the LOI blaster, no one left behind. And I'm thinking, oh man, these girls, right? And I'm hearing, I see Saravi, you can hear in the background, and Pace is like, email Saravi at Pace Morbian, email Saravi. I'm like, oh man, these girls. So I send some chocolates and some flowers, right? Super simple.
Awesome.
And, I had someone say something like, oh, well, no wonder you're his favorite. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's right. I go, I'm showing this man. I've got to know him. I know what his love language is. It's words of affirmation. And so
Is
I want to do that. Like I want to show him how much I care, how grateful I am. And if I can do little things that I know he'll appreciate, he loves his staff, right? So, and not that they're going to tell him. I mean, I'm not doing it to like so he knows kind of thing, but I'll send gifts. I just sent, I was ordering some little hats I had knit for my nephew. And I was like, Laura loves, you always see her dressing the kids are so adorable. And I'm like, you know what? I bet she would love these. Big deal. I order them, ship them out. Like it's nothing to me, but it's a huge difference. And just taking the time to put a card together, anything to say, to show your appreciation is,
yeah. I bought the kids little puffy dolls, whatever, little stuffed animals for community camp.
see, I love it. That's right.
Right?
Those things
So
mean a lot to people, and we are setting the standard. And so to that person, I said, sure, you can call it what you want, but at the end of the day, I took time to think about this person
that
and
was
to
someone in
take an,
Owners Club said that?
yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I was like, it's all,
That's fine. No,
and yeah,
that's
it's
fine.
totally good. But I was able to not take it personal and to spin it to
Sure.
show them, yeah, it might seem that way. That's cool. But at the end of the day, we have a man that has, yes, we've paid money, but what we've paid is like a sliver. I mean, just to have a one-on-one with him is more valuable. You would pay more money for that than we paid to be part of Owners Club, right? So big
And
deal.
yeah, and that's natural for people to feel that way sometimes. They're just being honest with themselves.
That's
And
right.
you're
Yeah.
actually providing a lesson as well, because you didn't take it in a bad way.
No.
And that maybe they can maybe get out their own way and do something new and show gratitude.
Yeah.
Like he posted a video yesterday about when he gets overwhelmed. I don't know if you've seen his post. When you get
No. We'll
overwhelmed and
have to watch that.
you have a whole bunch of things on your table, and these are your tasks to do, and you're like, oh my God, where do I start? What do I do? How do I
Yeah.
not get distracted? How do I stay focused? How do I say that? And he just said, I take a step back and I said, I am so blessed to be in this position that I have all these things on this table that I
Yeah.
get to choose how I'm going to tackle these, right? So then I take a deep breath. I set my intention, and then I said, okay, let's go. Right. So I've been very mindful uh to kind of, like I said, listen to really what he says. Not, you know what I'm saying? You really have to listen at a
Yeah.
different level to really catch it, right? So it doesn't pass you by. And I do that a lot as well, affirmations and stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
And you have to love yourself and believe in yourself. So in back of this shirt, I'm gonna have another stuff. It said, "I believe, I know, I can," right?
That's it.
And
Yes.
I got this because I had a when I had Ashley on, Ashley Perez, she was speaking in these tones.
Sure.
But she was speaking, I know and I can, I know and I can,
That's
and with
right.
a conversation. And then I in the conversation, I just stopped. I said, Ash, I just want to let you know that I know you're going to do everything you're saying. I know you can because I'm just repeating what you're saying. I know and I can, and I believe, I told her. So I believe. So then I said, you know what? I'm gonna use that. It was something
Yes.
organically that was created. I said, I believe, I know I can. So I created that little moniker. I'm gonna have it in the back of the shirts as well. Again, something that was created out of ourselves, right? So again, there's
Mhm.
a story behind it all. I'm a great storyteller as well. So
Yeah,
I
you are.
connect to I make something out of nothing all the time. This is, like I just did, right? Like I just told you,
I
right?
know, it's fantastic.
So you know what? Again, we are the culture. So
Yeah.
everything that you do, Jim does, that I do, whoever does, it just sets the tone for others
We're
to do
set.
more and expand that, right? So I say,
Right.
so I
It's
love
so
that
fun.
everyone's taking initiative to be their best selves.
I know, I think that's pretty cool. We're so fortunate. Do you want to talk, Mondo, about your Mount Everest, or do you want to talk about what maybe brought you to Owners Club? Was there some sort of precipice or some place you were stuck that,
I will. I'll go back a little bit,
yeah, do. I'd
not
love
too
to
far,
kind of
but
get a
not too
little bit
far.
of your story. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, my mother was my inspiration in the real estate space. My mother is my inspiration, period. So she's passed now, it'll be 7 years in January. But she is and will always remain my biggest inspiration. She's my
Love that.
compass to my life. She's everything. To
That's
this
so
day. I am her, I'm an extension of her, literally. So yeah, she's always been my inspiration. And I shared a moment with her that I still chase. So years and years ago, the last century, I was in a nursing school, right? I was in nurses. I got
yeah.
accepted to a nurse. Yeah,
Oh,
I got accepted to a nursing program. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school. I cleaned up myself. I cleaned up my act. I stopped drinking and smoking, whatever I was doing. I just cut it out, and I had focused. And I was in. I got accepted to this great school in New York City. It's a private school, private nursing program. So I called my mom. I told my mom, yo, I got accepted to so and so. And she was so immensely proud. If I tell you, Tracy, she was so proud that I felt through the phone. I felt
mhm.
that connection, that pride, and
Yeah.
that sensation that she gave me. That she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you," right? And I
Yeah.
just felt that energy that transmit between each other, right? Mother and daughter. I mean, mother and son. So I was like, "Oh man, this," I just felt so exhilarated, so happy at that moment. So I've been chasing that moment ever since. And since she's now gone, I chase it more and I speak to her all the time. So I'm always inspired to her. So she led me in this journey of real estate. She was an investor all her adult life.
Yeah, you were telling me that, right?
Some here and mostly she was Costa Rican. So she would invest in Costa Rica because
That's great.
my dad was well, I will call somewhat of a dream killer, let's say, because these
Mhm.
things were not his kind of character. He was a hard worker, never missed a day of work. This guy was a soldier, committed. He was, a 9 to 5 guy,
Right,
meat and
right, right,
potato
right.
type,
Yeah, the
meat and
dreaming is
potato.
not,
Not
that's
at all.
right.
Meat and potato type of guy.
That's
Don't
right.
get me out of my norms. You want to do this and you want to dream and get so.
You're
But
like, no.
so she was not down to do any of that. So here in New York City, she was always looking at buildings and stuff. And she was,
Oh,
I love this. I love this. What do you think? And he was like, no, 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 right? He's still like that. So no, no,
oh
no, no.
gosh.
But she wasn't defeated by that. So she just
Love that.
pivoted and she said, you know what? Since you don't like to travel as well, because you had all these fears, so he didn't like to fly as well. So when I was a kid, every summer, we used to go to Costa Rica, and her sisters would plan out trips for her that they connected with realtors and out there. So by to see some land or coffee fields, strawberry
I
fields,
love it.
land to construct. So she would pick out what stuff she was interested in, and she would purchase. She would hold it, or she would build on top of there, right? And she would sell. Whole for
Love it.
again, she had all these plans. So she never let even her partner deter her from accomplishing what she wanted to accomplish. So I got to see both perspectives, right? I got to see both things in my household, which was very important because you can now
Yes.
you see it, but you don't realize it until you get older, right? So then as I got older, I realized, man, I'm more like my mother on this side. On the business side, I want to invest. So my first property, I invested with her. She helped me get on my first property. And then I was off to the races. Then I bought a multifamilies in Jerseys and had a multifamily partnerships in Arkansas and Cincinnati. And
Wow.
yeah, so I've been really involved in the real estate space for over 20 years. And it was just, again, the seeds that were planted by her. And then about 4 years ago, I kind of hit a, not a wall, but there was a problem. I got scams. I got scammed, right? And rule number one, I tell new investors, even seasoned investors, right? Never invest, never deploy money into someone's personal account or LLC. That's
That's right.
cardinal rule number one in real
That's
estate.
right.
There's no other rule. That's
That's
number
right.
one, right?
Yes,
And I
100%.
know, and years after, well, like I said, I got scammed, and I realized maybe a couple months ago, why did you do that? Why were you comfortable in investing in someone's LLC, let's say? Because I had done it before and I'd done it successfully with
Right.
trusted people who didn't have those intentions. So
Yeah.
subconsciously, I felt the same way when I did it again, but not knowing that it was going to bite me in the behind this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
Totally.
I said, it just told me, like, why did you do that? Why would you do that? But now I knew the reason why, because I was comfortable doing that. But again, I paid a heavy price, and I'm still in litigation because of that. But
Wow.
but getting out of that, I had to lick my wounds. I'm an
That's right.
eternal optimist. That's my father's side. He's an eternal optimist. So
I
I
love
get
that.
I get that from him. So again, I was not deterred. I licked my wounds for a couple of weeks. I was kind of, messed up. Picked up the pieces, did
Yeah.
what I had to do, and I said, what do I do now?
That's right.
So I was always in search for a community, right? We were always kind of searching for the right people. And
That's right.
investing in this particular gentleman, that's what I was looking for. I thought he was the right guy to be a part of his,
Okay.
his thing, let's say. It wasn't. So lo and behold, I knew about Jamil.
Hmm.
About Jamil's space in the sector. I kind of knew about him, and for some reason, I used to always get ad pop-ups with this guy Pace, and I would just swipe.
So,
And
oh yeah.
one
This
year,
guy,
who's this
this
guy, man?
guy.
Yeah. For some reason, one day I said, let me open this stuff up because
Right.
what's this guy talking about?
Right.
Literally.
Right.
And then he started talking his creative finance and this other world I did not even know existed. Honestly,
Yeah.
you could buy a house, it's not yours, and sub two, what's sub two, creative
Hmm.
finance. I knew some creative finance because in multifamily seller finance, kind of the norm, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
sub two stuff, it was kind of like blowing my mouth. Like, so that was the first initial catch, right? I was reeled in, like, what is this?
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is intriguing. So then I started kind of following him, and wow, this guy seems like legit. Seems like a guy. He's charismatic, got great personality. You see the community vibe he has. So
Yeah.
I joined Gator initially. I joined Gator. I've been a Gator my whole adult life. I always kind of lent
I didn't
money.
realize that. Okay. I
Yes,
didn't
I
realize
kind
that
of
we were all
learned
haters. Yeah.
well, yes, because I lend money not as a gator per se, but I was
Right.
kind of stuff that I got from my mom. All this stuff I just shouted my mom, and she will always be that person
That's so
that
cool.
people always come to for whatever, honestly. So I
Love
like
it.
I said, I'm her little clone. So yeah, so then I joined Gator sometime last year, and from Gator it led me into Owners Club, which was offered at Squad Up last April, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just couldn't resist not joining. Obviously, you kind of trust Pace, right? After a while, you see what he's built and you see the
Yeah.
people that surround him, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of they kind of vet him, right? They edify him, and you
Yeah.
kind of see that wow, this is seems like a too good to be true, but you kind of trust and verify, right?
That's right.
Right? You kind of have to trust and verify, and you say, wow, this community thing, I think this is it, right? So I took the leap. I said, let me join. Let me see what this opportunity is going to entail, right? He kind of set the table for us and be like, hey, this is the offering, and guys, this is an opportunity a lifetime, and I took it as that.
Yeah.
And I got in the group. I was excited. Obviously, whoever's in it, it's very excited to be here. Initially, when they join, it's very
Yeah.
featured, very an exclusive group, about 400 members. So it gives you us uh, a sense of different, they feel different than, let's say, sub to a gator because it's just so filtered down, and you made a
Yeah.
financial commitment as well, right? So now, being in the community, you're given tasks to do, right? You're building out businesses, right? So it's
Yeah.
a little different. You have to be held accountable to all these things there's a timeline to things you have to get done, and you have to
That's
get
right.
super uncomfortable with all these tasks you have to do. They might be seem overwhelming, right? But you just have to conquer them. And when you conquer them, you're conquering yourself. This is
Mhm.
what I call a journey of self-discovery, right? It just happens to be through the instrument of real estate, right?
Yeah.
But
Isn't that true?
yes, that's how I kind of see it. And you're just outgrowing the old you, right?
That's right. That's
You're in that
right.
cocoon and you're coming out of that cocoon and new
That's
you,
right.
right? And then you have access to these wonderful people. The more you meet them, the more you feel aligned with them. And you just be like, I'm not alone. I can have a conversation with Tracy. Tracy, this is what's going on. Maybe you
That's
can
right.
help me.
That's right.
I just need to talk it out to somebody and be
That's
like, this is
right.
what to do, right? And be like, yeah, all right. And then you just realign, right? Because
100%.
everyone here moves with so much purpose, right? And mind you, we're just in the onset. We're not even a year in, but you already feel how aligned we kind of are, right? And how we sharpen our swords, right? So that's been such a benefit to me being in the community that just makes me want to give more and want to be and stay more committed, right? And do more and filter out the nonsense that's in your life as well, right? Because
Yeah.
you're replacing stuff, right? You put interjecting new stuff into your life. Some stuff you have to get out. You
You've
have to
got to
kick
make,
it out.
right.
You got to kick that sucker out of here, right? I just don't have no space for you no more. Whatever it's
That's right.
TV, whatever it is you do, you know what I'm saying? You have to kind of be responsible now, right? It's a different level of responsibility if you really want to excel, which I do.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and so I want to belong in this community, and I want to earn my spot as well, right? I want to be able to say I earned my place in this community by the work that I do, right?
Wow.
Not
I
by
love
wearing
that.
a hat that says owners club, a shirt, and
That's right.
you're led by your ego, and you're like, oh my God, I'm the man and all that.
Right. Right. Right.
We all feel that, we all get that, but that's not what it's all about, right? It's
No.
about now when you wear the hat, you wear it with a different pride for sure. If you, like I
Yeah.
said, you've earned it. If you felt like you're really doing that work, then for
That's right.
sure you're gonna wear it
Right.
with a sense of pride because it's us, right? We're talking, we set the culture,
That's
pace
right.
that's the vision. So for sure, but again, me personally, I want to earn my spot. So I put my best foot forward. Whatever assignments we do,
Wow.
I try to be timely and get them done. And you feel uncomfortable doing stuff, right? Sometimes like, oh man, how do I do this, right? And I say to
Right.
myself, I know, I know the universe is gonna provide me with an answer. I have
Yeah.
to have faith, and I just plow through it.
That's it. That's
And
it.
and Pace sets this tone as well, because if you kind of really listen to him, he says a lot of these things, right? Just manifest, affirm, right?
Yep.
And just follow up. You don't know the person who holds your treasure, so you have to kind of trust the process that he's laid out
Yes.
because he's walked this path
He's done that.
already,
Right. Right.
right?
He's walked the path. Yeah.
So you got to feel like you got to understand what he's telling you and why he's telling you. So I just feel like he's telling us because he's been here, right?
Yeah.
He's told of his struggles. He said, it took me 7 years to get kind of my first deal, right? Creative deal, right? So it tells you like he pushed through 7 years of just doing whatever he was doing to it. Finally got across. So it sets a barometer as well. Man, my man, it took him 7 years. I've been 6 months. Stuff is not moving that I want. I'm good, right? So,
Good.
right,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm just failing forward, like I like to say. So
That's
you
it.
fail forward and just continue the process and continue growing. Today
Yeah.
better than yesterday, tomorrow better than today, right? And
That's
just
right.
keep on
Every
keeping
day.
on.
I
Yeah.
think if you touched on something about, you know, in real estate investing, you are, especially if you're lending money, you will make mistakes. You will lose money. There's no way around it. Absolutely no way around it because it's such a unique industry. And you can go into a private money deal, for example, and it could be the best deal. And when I say best, I mean you've spent this time underwriting it. The numbers are great. There's tons of spread. It's a very reputable builder. Let's say it's you're funding a rehab. all it takes is a shift in the market that nobody can really foresee. Sure, you might know that things are going to change a little, maybe it's a little volatile, but nobody can predict that. All it takes is a little shift for the numbers to change and a deal not work and you not to be able to get paid back.
Yeah.
That can happen no matter how hard you work to avoid that. And I think if you're not able to roll with it, if you're not able to keep a positive mindset, learn from, like you were saying, the things you learn from that. This is years later, and you're still looking back going, huh, why did I do that? How amazing. Good for you, dude. Like you're learning still from something that happened years ago. And that's what growth is all about, right?
Yeah. You never know when you get it. If you live long enough, you have time to reflect and have a different perspective, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes it take a lifetime, right? I
that's
had
right.
goals when I was a younger guy, right? I was like, damn, I wanted to do this, right? And it's maybe 20 years, 30 years now I'm kind of getting around to it,
That's
right?
right.
Right? So it literally, if you live long enough, you have if I'm not saying that you have time, but if you have time, right?
If you have time, right, right. You
Right?
may not, you may have
Time
time.
is not promised and all that, but if you do have the time, stuff comes around, right? And you
That's
say,
right.
"Wow, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be alive to be able to get back around to this again." Right?
I
That
love the way you put that. Right. It's
right?
like bell bottoms. They come around. They come back
Like
around.
fashion,
If you're
hey,
lucky enough, it's so true. It's so
right?
true. Yeah,
So that's a great analogy, the fashion analogy. So it's very true. It cycles again. So you had things that were in your that you were thinking of doing that you didn't get around to do it. Now it recycled again, and now you presented with the opportunity.
that's
Maybe
right.
you're more prepared to do it and really follow through. I had these issues as well. I would quit on stuff. I would start and not be motivated. And if I don't see an
Yeah.
end goal, I was like, oh, I'm done. Let me move on to
Been
something.
there, done that.
Right. So and people go through these things, but sometimes you first you gotta learn how to say no to a lot of stuff, and you gotta follow something to completion, right? Like, follow
100%.
it to completion and get it done, right? Just get it done, and if you want to pivot to something else, you can, but you got that done, right?
Right.
Sometimes we start stuff and we don't finish anything, and now we start something else, we don't
That's
finish
right.
that, and nothing gets done. So
That's
I've
right.
kind of learned that as well. Just take it to the end goal, finish it, and if you want to pivot, fine, great, but you got that done. You accomplished that said task, whatever it is, right? So these are all learning lessons, like I said, that you just pick up and you put them in your toolkit, your toolbox, and you
That's
move
right.
forward with them. And if you can implement some wisdom on someone else, then you do, right? But you
That's
always
right.
have the capability too. And being in this community, I can share kind of my tools, right, with
That's
people
right.
that maybe have less experience. And I've come in conversations with people, right? And I've kind of been able to do that, right? So again, it all comes back around, and like someone's, someone told someone else in the community said they were having a conversation, and he said he told what it is, you feel so comfortable here because you're finally home, right?
Yeah.
So that resonated with me because that's how I feel being a part of this community partnership, sisterhood,
Right.
brotherhood, right? It
That's right.
feels like home to me. So you get my best foot, you get my best effort all the time in here for sure.
Love it, Mondo. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank
And
you.
I think by being in a smaller, we're in a subset of a bigger community, which is an amazing community. Don't get me wrong.
Sure, for
Been
sure.
in sub two before I joined Owners Club, and I still have amazing relationships and do a lot in that community. But being in this smaller Owners Club community, I'm seeing that as we're getting to know each other more intimately, we're all becoming more vulnerable. And that is the space in which we can really grow ourselves and help each other grow. Because as we're speaking the words, as we're talking about the thing that held us up or the thing we, blundered on and it really, stopped us in our tracks, that's helping us on a personal level process. And you're helping, like you were just saying, you're sharing with other people. Hey, here's what I did. Like this was really not cool. And it cost me money or time or whatever. And here's what I learned from it. And then you can walk away and go, oh, wow, that's cool. Now, good. Thank you. Good tip.
For
And
sure.
I think people aren't always comfortable being vulnerable. It's scary. no one wants to be say, oh yeah, man. Everyone wants to look like, oh yeah, I'm a real estate investor. Oh yeah, I started a year ago and I'm killing it. Yeah, are you really though? Like, I hope you are, and I'm sure you're doing great. And there's probably some things that you're working on, right? So, like, let's be real. And so then we can support each other, right?
Yeah,
And I see more and more of that. Yeah.
you gotta shed that Teflon, right?
Yeah.
You gotta really shed it to kind of be you, right? And the
Mhm.
more that you can get rid of, the more of you become, right? Because that's
Oh, yes,
right?
sir.
That's just building up a persona, and it might be a defense mechanism, right? It might be driven by ego, whatever it is. And you know, again, said person has to outgrow that, right? Maybe it'll take
That's right.
time, or maybe through observation of watching others, they can see, wow, maybe my approach is not the right approach, right? So there's lessons in everything if you listen to the whispers, right?
That's
And
right.
if you can catch them, especially in here, you're gonna grow. You're definitely gonna grow, and you're gonna flourish.
100%.
So I'm just so excited to be a part of this community.
Yeah.
Again, every day I have different conversations with different people,
Yeah.
right? Literally, I know who you are because I kind of know who you are just because you're highlighted recently in the community. But once you have a conversation with people and you kind of tell them who you are and you get that off the table, and now we're all cool, right? I feel like
Totally.
you forever and we can conversate. I'll see you in
That's
person.
right.
Hey, we're cool, right? There's no barriers, there's no being
No.
uncomfortable. So that's kind of what I look forward to our next meetup since I met a new batch of people, right? So
Yep.
I'm glad to be able to see them physically, right? And share an embrace. You know, again, body language says a lot as well. So
Yeah.
you always miss that interaction. So I look forward to that as well. To kind
Totally.
of people that I connected to that I kind of knew who they were because we know kind of who we are in the community. But once you have some conversations with people, you get a different a sense of who
Yeah.
people are, right?
Exactly.
And then we're buddies,
That's right. I
right?
love this.
Right?
Well, let's wrap this up. But I want to ask you if people that are watching this, because I'll go ahead and post this at some point, let them know what your social media is so that they can find you.
So I have a podcast. My podcast is called The Real Estate Deli. Again,
Yeah.
Real Estate Deli. I'm from New York, so it's a play on words. And my IG is Money Making Mando. That's Money Making Mando. That's coming my what I go by on IG. I had to make it fun and enticing and cute. And
That's what I love about you.
again,
Everything. I love it. You're just a fun,
yeah, so I made
great
it again.
man.
I make something out of nothing, and again, you just gotta be creative and enjoy the process, man. Come
Yeah.
on, again, like I tell my wife a lot, you're coming back this way. Meaning, are you being born again? Are you coming back to this life again? Are you
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
back again? No. So let's make the best of it, right?
That's right. This is
Right?
it, man. This is a one
Yeah,
shot deal.
yeah, make the most of it, have fun, and be upset and laugh and cry, and have all those emotions and just move forward and be your best self. And at
Yeah.
the end of the night, you say, how was your day, man? My day was great. I did it all.
That's right.
Jim Valvano was a basketball coach for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. He died maybe 25 years ago. He was Italian. And when he had cancer, he was dying. He's probably his last days or months at that time. Is a Jimmy V Fund and ESPN. They hold it every year when the college basketball season
Oh,
comes in.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he said his days just encompass you laugh, right? You think. I'm writing this stuff down because I still remember, and
That's
you
right.
cry,
That's
right?
it.
And that is a full day. You laugh, you think, and you cry.
And you cry. I love this.
Those words always, I always remember that those words coming from a man who was kind of on his last days on earth, but he kind of left us with some wisdom that a person like me listened to, and so his legacy still lives on, right? So you
Right.
can imagine, who impacts you in your life, and again, it's a beautiful journey.
I love it.
We're all miracles.
That's right. We are.